it kind of started with seeing the positivity in the community for the NFT community. See, for like for other chains, not to slander or anything, but there isn't sort of a tight knit group of people that stick together, whatever it may be, and kind of support each other, like on Ethereum or whatnot. I found that on Fantom there was just really just nice community, very welcoming of new artists, appreciative of the art rather than the money you can make from it. It's more so that kind of community. And
Mm.
that was one of the main decisions for going with Fantom.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I have a very special guest on this freshly minted episode of Phantom Edge. I have Ted here from Novablocks. Ted, how you doing, my man?
How are you doing? Doing good. How's yourself?
I'm doing well, man. I'm just excited to be talking to you and kind of chat about what we're already chatting off camera.
Yeah,
But yeah, man.
likewise.
Yeah, dude. Let's start it off with the foundation. I'm curious to know how you got into crypto, right? Give me a
Yeah.
little backstory how you got to crypto and why the heck you're still here. And I say it like that because a lot of people come and go, and I'm very, very curious. You being a founder and what has allowed you to stay here.
Yeah, so I got into crypto around the age of 2021. So it was around 2018 when I got into it all. I think it was around 20 years old at the time. And I got into it just because I just heard it on the news. People were
Mm,
talking about crypto. It was right after the Bitcoin crash.
yeah.
And we're getting into it thinking, this actually could be a thing. So I got into it, like just started reading up on altcoins and things like that. And over time, I started building up a bit of a portfolio, just kind of the main ones, and then transitioned after I graduated. Did about 2 years of digital asset management. So I did some work where I just handled like pre-sales for different people, not
Mm,
pre-sales, more so like seed round tokens and things like that for different people as kind of like a syndicate.
yeah.
And that was, that went well for a while. And now, then I got a job as an AI technician and a mobile developer at a different company right now. So I'm still working. And that's kind of been my whole sort of summary of what's been going on. But I got into sort of the NFT space as well around 2021,
Mm,
and particularly got into Fantom around 2021 as well, the start of the year. I just remember seeing it all over the internet, like Phantom's the next big thing. And you know what? Every single thing that I read turned out to be true, which was really great.
yeah.
So the speed, the performance, the price, everything was just really nice. So that's kind of how I got here, and
Yeah.
decided to, if I ever build anything using what I learned in college and what I learned in my own time doing freelance or whatever kind of work, it would be on Fantom. And
Mm.
here we are.
Here we are, man. No, that's amazing. I always like people to share their story because I relate to you in the aspect of 2021 with the NFT
Yeah.
boom. That's what made me fall back in love with the space. I'm like, oh man, this is as I got the same sensation as when I first discovered Bitcoin. I'm like, there's something here I need to pay attention. Um,
Yeah.
and you said you have some AI experience, which will lead into that. You explaining Novablocks. So can you explain Novablocks, what it is and how you're infusing AI and blockchain for
Yeah. So
users?
exactly. So basically, I'll give you a backstory on how
Yeah.
Novablock started. Basically, we made an NFT collection, me and my friend Dave, back in it was around a year and 3 months ago. But basically,
Mm,
yeah, it was about last February. Made an NFT collection called Zodiacs to see what happens. My
yeah.
friend's an artist. We made it around astrology because it had nice lore. It was really just a really really nice collection, really nice little project. And then I realized midway through development that there's so much we can do with these NFTs. And it was never a case of we could just leave it as art and then just move on.
Yeah.
We decided to build like staking on top of it and a bunch of other features, thinking, we could actually, progress this. And one day decided, let's just build a whole DApp and let everybody use the tools that we've built.
Yeah.
And so spawned Novablocks. So now we just accept everybody into what we build at the start. Everybody can use pretty much.
Yeah.
And so what we mainly want to do is bring more utility to NFTs and
Mm,
kind of like outsource the development. People can outsource the development of certain NFT features to us. So if you want
mm,
staking, if you want like say different access passes for whitelists, whatever it is, Discord servers even is coming up. We have a lot of different things we're building on.
mhm.
Uh, People who can't develop or can't do that particular kind of work because it's not in their expertise
Yeah.
can come to us, and we'll just we'll facilitate that for them. And that's kind of the whole idea behind it. It's not exactly like a traditional kind of project where we just have a token and that's the whole a focal point of our development and everything else. It's actually the utility around it, which is what we started and what we want to perfect before moving forward.
Yeah,
So yeah.
and I think that's what you guys are trying to do with I know you guys recently announced if there's any Fantom artist, anyone on in the Fantom ecosystem, either that doesn't know how to either deploy a contract, reach out to us. So explain a little bit about that. You already said that, Fantom was a chain that you kind of liked a lot, right? What was the
Yeah.
decision for Novablocks to kind of build on Fantom or try to attract Fantom ecosystem members?
It kind of started with seeing the positivity in the community for the NFT community. See, for like other chains, not to slander or anything, but there isn't sort of a tight knit group of people that stick together, whatever it may be, and kind of support each other, like on Ethereum or whatnot. I found that on Fantom there was just really just nice community, very welcoming of new artists, appreciative of the art rather than the money you can make from it. It's more so that kind of community. And that was one of the main decisions for going with Fantom. Other decisions being the speed of the chain and the price. It was way more affordable. And originally we were thinking of doing a cross-chain dApp, but realized that there wasn't enough parallels between the chains other than you can use MetaMask for each one of them, so it's like you can use Ethereum. We could definitely integrate our platform with Ethereum, but we're going to knock off 90% of our users because the gas fees are just like, they're not affordable for most people. So, and that's the thing. So there is that sort of aspect to it when you do try to build a cross-chain dApp, like who are you building it for? You know what I'm saying? So it's like Fantom was the one we went with, and that's the one we stuck with because of all of the benefits that it brought. So, and the community as well.
Of course. Now, walk me through a little bit. You explained already a little bit, but walk me through a little bit. Let's suppose I'm one of those people that are interested. I want to reach out to you guys. What's the process? I know you said you guys outsource to you. Is it like a no code process? Is it something like, here's my idea of a project, here's what I want the smart contract to do, and you guys deliver something in a week, for instance? Walk me through that process.
It's exactly what you just outlined there. So we have a form we've set up on the site. You can just submit. You can contact us via the form, and we have a set of options of different development criteria or development options that we offer. And you just fill out which ones you need, and then we reach out to you via email or Telegram, and then we just create a bit of like a group, and we discuss whatever projects, whatever goals you want for your project, including timeline of development, including social marketing. Whatever it may be, any bit of development, we go over that with you, and we'll develop in a timely manner if need be, or which we will do. But yeah, that's kind of it. It's just through a form. You just submit, and we have a set of options, and it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah. Tell me, how does AI play into this? Is it in the development side? Yeah. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so myself now, I'm actually an AI technician. So the company I work for at the minute, we build a mobile app that allows you to read emotions of people with nonverbal, people who have nonverbal mental, like I guess, disorders.
Yeah.
So they can't speak, and we create an app that basically allows them to communicate. And those skills that I learned in that company have translated across, and I've thought about it. And there's a lot of places where you could translate across into NFTs, and the first thing I thought of was, well, what's the number one question you get asked when you're trying to get into the NFT space, or you ask people when you're trying to get into NFT space? Well, it's what NFTs do I buy to make profit, or what NFTs do I buy in general? And so we sat down as a team and we figured out that, well, if we can answer that question with AI, then we'd probably save a lot of people a lot of big learning curve. So the idea was that Seafair is the AI that we're currently building. So it's going to come in the form of a browser extension. That's the trickiest part. The browser extension you just turn on while you're on was originally the OpenSea Explore page. We're trying to set it up in other marketplaces on Fantom, so PaintSwap and NFT Key. And as you turn it on, it'll just find collections that suit you. Preferably not trying to hype you up on what the price will be over time. It'll just show you trends in the price action. So whether it be like, this is the floor over the last week, and here's where it's expected to go based on these trends, but it's not a definitive place to go. Also, if you have a particular type of art that you have in your collection, so let's say it's abstract art with no particular subjects, just colors or whatever it may be, this AI at a premium level will be able to detect other collections that would suit you.
Mm.
that you don't already own. So that's something that we decided to build, because it's there's two kinds of people in NFTs. People who just want to make quick buck, and there's people that are trying to collect NFTs for themselves because they love it. And so the way we've set up the Seafair AI, it benefits both types of people.
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
So your personal NFT assistant, you know, letting you know what's going on, and
Pretty much, yeah.
yeah, telling you, hey, I know you like this, check this one out. So very interesting stuff, because obviously AI has been a big conversation in the last few months, and
Yeah.
this year specifically. So it's always been a really interesting conversation to talk about how AI kind of infuses with blockchain technology, NFT specifically, and things like that. Ted,
Yeah.
what do you see the future of NFTs, man? I always like to ask this question to people who are really enthused by NFTs. Like, what's the future? Like, what kind of, you've talked about utility and different things that you could do with NFTs, that we've seen, that we could kind of expect, but what do you see NFTs and their role maybe in the next 5 years?
All right. So, well, that's actually a brilliant question, because
Yeah.
just loads of ways you can look at it in terms of, like, say, market valuation. The peak of the bull run there recently, the NFT marketplace reached something like 40 billion, according to Crypto Insider. I think it's Crypto Insider. 40 billion, that's a pretty crazy valuation. It's dropped since, but that just shows that there is some sort of interest. And but if you want to look at it from the perspective of the utility, well, when I first got into NFTs, there wasn't very many people using NFTs as, let's say, keys into servers. Let's say you wanted to get into a Discord server, but you didn't hold this particular type of NFT. Like, that's only a basic feature, but it shows that that NFT already has some sort of intrinsic value, because you're able to access groups that get either higher knowledge on the space, or, you know, more alpha, or just hang out with more top tier people who have the same, you know, like-minded interests as you. And so that wasn't really a thing when I first started out. It was, maybe you saw it in some places, but now, you know, people were talking about that could be a great utility for it, and now you see it everywhere.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you don't know what people are going to be talking about, what, like, in a week about NFTs. Somebody's going to come up with something new, and I feel like that's going to be integrated across all other, let's say, Web2, more traditional websites like Discord, like Telegram, like other very commonly used tools by NFT enthusiasts. So
Yeah.
it's only a matter of time. Well, even Twitter, I think, recently have had it so that you can make your profile picture
Yeah.
your NFT, right? So that's
Correct.
already, it's already a show that's, you know, like, that's it's already something, you know. So
Yeah.
most likely, I don't think it'll transcend further than the more, you know, common tools that we have now. But you never know. You never know. So, like,
Yeah.
it might not be, you know, it might not go further than Twitter, Telegram, or Discord, but or something like along those lines. But you never know, really. Honestly, that's the thing. But I feel like the utilities is going to keep increasing and increasing, and the standards are going to also be keep on improving. So there's new standards coming out every week. Well, not every week, every month or so on the NFTs. So that's something, you know.
Yeah, I think we're still in that innovation era, obviously, for a lot
Yeah.
of for a protocol level, NFT level. I live in California, so even here, I believe it was late last year, the Department of Motor Vehicles, where you register your vehicle, wanted to integrate NFT as car titles, and they're like a
Oh,
testing. So, I mean, that's an interesting use case, right? Imagine your car
yeah.
title as a digital asset on chain.
I think
So,
I saw something like that for houses as well, right? Like,
yeah,
someone was,
there's
yeah,
a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of different use cases that people are trying to figure out, right? It's not perfect. So, it's kind of interesting, especially on the security side. How secure. I don't want someone to steal my car title that's an NFT, right? And it's not
yeah,
is I'm not in, it's not my car no more, right?
yeah.
But
There was one
yeah.
thing, actually. We went to an event. Just sorry to interrupt you
Oh
there.
no,
We
go
went to an
ahead.
event. We went to an event in Cork. It was a Blockchain Ireland event
Yeah.
where a bunch of Web3 enthusiasts and project owners, and, you know, just people in the space came together, and we just had a few, like, just sandwiches and coffees, and just
Yeah.
met, chatted, and networked. And one of the projects that was there actually had it so that you could NFTify a cow, so you know the trace of the beef that you're eating in a restaurant,
Mm,
and you were able to just scan a QR code, and it was tokenized, so
mm,
you could see the entire trace, like in a blockchain-like system, of that cow. So it was using the principles
yeah.
of NFTs and blockchain technology, where everything is transparent, just to trace your stake. So, which is kind of amazing, to be honest. And there were
Yeah.
many other projects like that too, which is kind of a way of saying, that's the innovation. People are taking the ideology and translating it to other spaces.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. You take an industry and you're trying to innovate it, tokenize it, or just blockchain. A supply chain integration with blockchain could be very powerful for a lot of different people. So that's very interesting, man. That's
Yeah.
really cool. I want to know where my stake came from. So before I let you go, Ted, what are you personally bullish on? What are you kind of keeping an eye on? What's the pulse on things that you're excited about?
I think personally, like um, I personally think Phantom. Like I know it sounds biased because we're here, but
No,
I
please,
think I
man.
personally think I personally think this might even be controversial, but this layer zero trend, like I don't know if it's gonna stick. I don't know what's the benefit. I think that old school layer ones are gonna, if we're talking about bullish terms, I think they're gonna pioneer and they're gonna, lead the way forward for the bull run coming, if there is one coming ever. No speculation,
Yeah.
but likely is, So I think that that's something we should keep an eye on. Is just L1s that are taking each other's ideas and implementing them at a high pace. And that's something I like about Fantom as well, is that sometime last year there was an EIP 1559. I think that's
Mhm.
the term, or maybe 2 years ago, talked about an Ethereum, and I think they integrated it. And then, like within a few months, Fantom had transitioned over, and like it was like really nice to see that was that idea. It was quickly implemented, and they're keeping up with each other. They're not trying to digress into something else and have the potential to die out. They're keeping up with each other and supporting each other. So I would say keep an eye out. I'm keeping an eye out personally,
Mhm.
not saying to anyone to do anything else. I'm keeping an eye out for L1s,
Yeah.
like Fantom, like Bitcoin, like Ethereum. But yeah.
Yeah, well said, man. And I think the greater output, is innovation. Yes,
Yeah.
be first, but it's also like, okay, what could benefit the ecosystem as a whole? That way we could progress and get away from the negative media marketing that
Yeah.
that the space gets time and time again. So, Ted, I
Yeah.
want to thank you once again for your time, man. I commend your hard work with Novablocks. I commend
I appreciate
your
it.
intelligence, and I hope to have you back in a few months to talk about what's been going on with Novablocks and you personally.
Yeah.
So, thank you, man.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for having me. And just in case you didn't notice, but about 3 hours ago, we
Yeah.
released the new UI for Novablocks. So if anyone's interested in checking that out, it looks
Yeah.
completely different services. Everything's completely new. But yeah.
Awesome,
All
man.
right.
Hard at work. I won't take, I took a few minutes away from you building. So I'll be chatting with you
Nice.
soon, man. Take care.
All right. Take care. Thank you
Peace.
very much. Bye bye.